What's up, YouTube? Mugiwara no Angel here, and today I'm coming to you out with the full review of the spoilers. The full spoilers just dropped a couple hours ago. I just got home from work. So let's get straight into these spoilers, alright? So the first thing we got the name of the chapter. It's called Atlas. I wonder why. We're going to find out in a little bit why it's called Atlas. But just know, Atlas the GOAT, and we appreciate Atlas. On to point number 2. It's just going to be the cover page. We already talked about the cover page in the last video. If you want to hear my opinions on the cover page, you can go ahead and listen to the brief spoilers or not. Well, we'll go over it. It's really just the kids throwing rocks at Yamato. They get caught by Denjiro, and Denjiro is now the Daimyo of Kibi. Oh, I just noticed that. Denjiro becomes a Daimyo of Kibi, which is very, very interesting, actually, because that makes me think if all the other retainers become daimos as well. I'm guessing Kinemon is gonna be by Momo's side in the capital, the main side. What about the other ones? What about Kappa, the little fish guy? He was pretty cool. And all the other ones. I wonder if they become then daimyo of other regions, or if they just who knows what they do. I guess hopefully we figure it out. Or hopefully we get an answer to that. Alright, on to the next point. So this is where we're gonna get into it, okay? Chapter starts off 26 years in the past in Punk Hazard. Back when Punk Hazard wasn't just the Iceland and Fireland, it was actual. Before the battle and the explosion over there, it was an actual ecosystem there. But there are two men talking at the entrance. It's Vegapunk and Dr. Clover. Vegapunk has his two dragons, which is kind of funny. He's just sitting there like a boss with these two dragons that he made. That's pretty dope. I like that, Vegapunk. You boss for that. But Clover begs Vegapunk to help him with the voice entry research because he needs knowledge from other fields. Vegapunk refuses, saying that he's a government man now, which makes sense. He's working with the world government. He doesn't want to get caught up in this voice entry stuff and ruin his livelihood and his research, And Vegapunk says, "Do you remember how many times you've been arrested? They got their eyes on you. You know you can still roam free. You know why you can still roam free like you are? Because they're trying to follow you to your den. And capture all your friends, which is actually exactly what happened. Vegapunk really predicted what was going to happen, which is kind of crazy. And in the next statement, Clover says that he's seen somebody with the will of D die right in front of him. And that man was his brother, that man watched his brother get shot, which is kind of. Clover had a sad backstory, man. But I remember seeing back the flashbacks we got with him on the boat being a crazy adventurer. But Vegapunk's shot, and Clover ends up. His real name is Clafundi Clover, and that day he lied in order to live. I'm guessing he didn't and from the looks of it, they killed his brother just because he had a D in his name. No Diddy, but that's kind of so he lied in order to live. He said, "Nah, that's not my brother. We're just friends," which that has to suck. And he's just pretty much going on saying that you're saying people deserve to die or be killed just because they're born with the letter D in their name, which is. It's crazy to think about. The world government is messed up and what they be doing. They're killing people just because they got the letter D. But however, Vegapunk says again that he won't help Clover. Vegapunk says that he too will forget. Vegapunk says that he will forget about what Clover just said. While Vegapunk walks inside Punk Hazard, Clover says something more. Let's pull up the next point because it coincides with it, but it was just too much to fit on the screen, so I had to split it up. Vegapunk, I'll solve it. Just wait. I can hear the voices coming from the past. And now we cut back into 22 years ago, which is right after Ohara. Vegapunk and Caesar received the news that Ohara was destroyed in a buster call, and Caesar says he wants to see the massacre for himself, while Vegapunk is sad, which makes sense. That was the homie, right? After Vegapunk visits Ohara, the scene takes place right before the flashback that we got with him and Dragon in the beginning of Egghead. Vegapunk's crying in front of a lake while looking at Nico Robin's wanted posters, saying that, "Did you guys really die to save a pile of books?" And he's pretty much saying, "Who in the world is foolish enough to risk their life to carry on your research?" Which is kind of funny because Vegapunk, as we all know, ends up doing the same thing and taking on Dr. Clover's research, and he ends up dying for it. So it's kind of funny that Clover ended up getting his whole hometown killed, and then eventually, because of this, Dr. Vegapunk ends up dying because of Dr. Clover. But let's go ahead and move on to the next one, alright? And I'm actually really excited about this. we got reaction piece, boys. Reaction piece, boys. So the Vegapunk message continues, and we see Zareth and Patty. They just listen to the message in Baradier, which is dope. I'm like, we over the last few chapters, we got reactions from all types of people. We seen Don Krieg, we seen Geen, so it's only right that we see Zeph and Patty. And we also see Tequila Wolf, where guards are whipping prisoners. I don't know why we needed to see that, but hey, we got Tequila Wolf in reaction piece. I'll take it, I guess. Who else would y'all like to see in reaction piece, man? I know there's a few people missing. We got Gaimon. It was somebody that I really wanted to see. But if you guys know anybody that you wanted to see in part of reaction piece that hasn't shown up yet, go ahead and leave it in the comments. I'm interested to see who you guys were wanting to see show up in reaction piece, because it looks like we still got one part left of the message. So hopefully we get some more notable reactions in the next chapter. But who knows? But let's go move on to the next point. Egghead, we cut back to Egghead. Robin is extremely moved as she listens to Vegapunk's message. She covers her eyes with his hand or her hand. I don't know who it was meant to be, like what, if that's a translation error or what it is. But Vegapunk says history is written by the winners. The voices of the losers are faint, buried deep under the sea. But after much sacrifices, I've been able to determine some of the buried truths, and I relayed them to the world. I pray that my message so far has been broadcasted safely. So this is just telling me that the part that we didn't get, the part that got cut off, was actually really important. Because he's saying that I've relayed this to you, meaning he's already said it. He's already said what he's talking about. So that's definitely the part that we missed. We missed out on some big, very big key information. I'm sorry, let me get back close to my mic. I'm really far away from it. So we missed out on some very big key information. But I do like how he says it's buried under the sea, because we know that there's a whole continent down there that we haven't seen. Like, we know the old world has been flooded and it's been... So I'm very interested to see where he goes. I'm very interested to see where he goes with this. And I really wish we could have gotten the rest of the message. But hey, I guess that's Robin's job to uncover, right? So let's go ahead and move on to our next one, okay? So right here, we cut back to the lava phase. Zoro and Jinbei are now in 1,000 Sunny. Nasujiro was blown far away, but he's coming back. Lilith stops the Star Hat crew from taking off, saying that if Nasujiro attacks them midair, the speed will drop, the ship will not reach the sea. They can't take off if Nasujiro is still in the way, which makes sense. You can't get away from this guy. Somebody needs to stop him and step in. You know, there's no way you can just get away from Nasujiro. He's not just gonna let that shit fly away. And suddenly Atlas appears and punches Lilith, making her unconscious. Atlas smashes Lilith in the Sunny's floor. Damn, why is she doing all that time? Why she just show up and wombo combo? Man, Atlas, you crazy. Atlas turns off a little device in Lilith's head. She touches Lilith's head and we hear a little click sound effect, and York notices. So I'm guessing that's syncing them up. That little click was syncing them up to Punk Records and was getting the information there and back. So York notices Lilith's signal is gone, so not only Atlas remains. So I'm guessing she probably thinks Lilith is dead. Well, she's not really dead. She's just knocked out unconscious with the little flick off. And Atlas talks with Nami and the others, saying, please take care of Lilith. I will eliminate your obstacle. So it looks like we're leaving with Lilith. It looks like when we first got to this arc, Vegapunk was saying how we had to leave, how he was trying to leave with us. But now the Stella's dead, all the other bodies dead. It looks like we leave it with Lilith. So all y'all little Lilith fans, the one that have been obsessed with Lilith, I know there's some of y'all in there that be looking at Lilith like they maybe want her on the crew. You know who you are. Don't act all crazy. The anime be knowing what they doing too when they animate and stuff. That's all I'm gonna say. But I know some of y'all happy we getting Lilith instead of some of the other options that were possible. I know y'all happy we getting Lilith over the Stella body. I'll tell you that much. But it's interesting that we are leaving with Lilith. That just leaves me with the question, what are we going to do with Lilith? Is she going to travel with us until we get to Laugh Tale? Is she just going to stop at Elbaf and just live with the giants? What is the end goal with Lilith? Is she going to be like a Kinemon character that will follow us throughout these arcs? I'm very interested to see where Oda goes with Lilith and the Vegapunks. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one, all right? So in this one, Nasujiro is on his way back to the 1,000 Sunny, but Atlas flies and grabs him and Nasajiro slices one of her arms off, but she's still grabbing. You know, Atlas huge, so she a big body. You know, she a big body. So then Atlas uses her Dom shoes with the jetpack to dip all the way over the wire, and then Thousand Sunny takes off using the Coupe de Burst. Thousand Sunny, we've escaped. They're safe. Whoever was on that ship, I'm pretty sure it was. You had Nami, Zoro, Jinbei, I believe Chopper, Brooke. They're gone with Lilith. So all that's left is Sanji's on the Elbaf ship with. Excuse me. Sanji's on the Elbaf ship with Luffy, Bonnie, Kuma's over there, Dory, Broggy. Am I missing anybody? But yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. So let's go ahead and move on to the next spoiler point. Now this is where things get very interesting. This is what I'm excited to talk about. So we cut to the AK shore. Emmett is talking to Luffy. He seems very excited. Luffy seems very excited to see the robot. Emmett says, "I'm glad to meet you again, Joy Boy." Luffy's looking around confused, searching who's talking to him. Emmett had a funny reaction. He says, "I'm talking to you. You go on ahead. You're my enemy. Your enemy is my enemy. I'm able to fight. I'm glad I'm able to fight for you again, Joy Boy." Which this right here clears up a lot of what people were thinking, that MF actually he's a conscious being. It's not like he's come just like a robot, just acting on orders from 800 years. Look, he's actually conscious. He's able to make his own decisions. He's not like Zunisha. You know how Zunisha, he needs to be ordered around. No, MF can take and go do whatever he needs to do when he wants to do it. He doesn't have the same restrictions Zunisha has. So I'm very interested with this. Let's keep going and keep reading. So Luffy's like, "Amazing, you can talk." He says, "Joy Boy is in danger. I will protect him." Dory orders his crew to prepare to set sail. Broggy asks Luffy, "Is that thing one of them?" He says he's going to protect that Joy Boy guy. "Who is that?" And Broggy said, "He said? We didn't hear a thing." Luffy, "What, really?" So this just says that he's using the voice of all things to communicate with him. I think that's kind of obvious, which is also a very interesting thing because nobody was able to hear Zunisha either. It was only Momo and Luffy using the voice of all things. They were able to hear Zunisha. So I'm guessing, is this a way to like nerf Joy Boy's crew from communicating with multiple people? Because, you know, they have all the access to what happened in the past, all the lore. So only being able to communicate with the voice of all things completely restricts what they can do to talk to people. Like, Luffy's not going to understand. If you start telling Luffy about the voice entry, he's gonna fall asleep. You know, that's something you gotta tell Robin, but he can't communicate with Robin. It seems like none of these previous Joy Boy crew members have been able to communicate with Robin. So I'm very curious as to why, or not Robin, have been able to communicate besides the voice of all things. So I'm very curious as to why that's the case. And I'm hoping we get some more answers. If you have any ideas, just go ahead and leave your theories in the comments section, man. I'm very intrigued to see what you guys have to say, man. This chapter so far has been a banger. I'm really enjoying it. But let's go ahead and move on to the next point, okay? So Jupiter charges at the robot. MF raises his left arm like he's about to release an attack similar to Magnum Rising Rocket Punch pose, lol. But due to the body being too old, the attack doesn't come out. Luffy, Sanji, and Frankie are very disappointed. I can just imagine them being hype, and then Luffy's just faced with really? But Jupiter bites a part of Emma's body off. One of Emmett's arm is eaten completely. Damn, he's getting whacked up. Emmett uses the other arm to hold Jupiter back, but Saturn jumps on Jupiter and then jumps onto the Elbaf ship. Saturn looks at Kuma and Bonnie. Okay, let's get into the spoilers first. We're gonna tackle Emmett first. I just want to say something. Emmett had to be a beast back in the day, bro. Like, mind you, he's old and beat up, but he's over here standing ground with the Gorosei, bro. He had to be a demon back in the day, you know? He definitely had to go crazy. Emmett top 2 in the verse, and he ain't 2, you feel me? Nah, let me stop. Then let's go ahead and talk about Jupiter. Where was I going? I'm sorry. Saturn, look, my bad. Let's talk about Saturn jumping onto this ship and just staring at Kuma and Bonnie. I want to know how they're gonna get him off this ship. Yeah, Luffy can go toe-to-toe with him, so it probably isn't too hard. Luffy can probably knock him away like he did before with the bat when he got knocked over the Blackbeard's crew. So he can probably do that. But the problem is, I don't think I don't think knocking them into the water is an option either. Because I don't think they're Devil Fruit users. If you remember in the other chapter, he fully intended to jump onto the ship and destroy it. Or I don't remember exactly what happened. Like he missed or he got knocked out. But he was intending to destroy the ship, which would have caused him to fall into the water. So I don't think water is a weakness for them. I don't think that's gonna be a problem. So I'm curious to what he's about to do here. If he's about to just try and take Kuma and Bonnie and like or what. But I think they're able to hold their own. They have who's on the ship right there. They got Luffy, Sanji, the giants. They got Frankie. I don't think Saturn's gonna be a problem for them. I think they can still get away, no issue. Let's move on to the next point though. So pretty much we cut over the Thousand Sunny is flying in the sky. Sanji sees the Sunny from Elbaf's ship. Nasujiro slashes at Atlas. They didn't expect you to sacrifice yourself. No, this is called a service. And then Atlas blows herself up, and Nasujiro's face is half blown off. She did some damage to bro. That's gonna look epic in the chapter. I'm very excited to see that panel. Let's go ahead and move on to the next point. All right. In the amazing final double page of the chapter, we can see the different scenes while Vegapunk message continues. I'm wondering what these scenes can be. If it's just like things going on in Egghead, or we're getting more reaction piece that the leakers just haven't stated here. I guess we'll see when the chapter comes out. But Vegapunk goes on and talks about how this research cannot be stopped. He would like, I would have had more time to do more research, but there's those who already cannot be stopped. 25 years ago, the pirate Goldie Roger and his crew finally circled the entire world, a feat never to be seen before. So we talked about this in the spoilers. Nothing much here. He's just going on again how Roger's already figured out the secrets of the world pretty much. And I wonder where he's gonna go from this, because well, you'll see more when we get to the last. We're in the last couple of spoiler points, so you'll see when we get there. The Thousand Sunny is flying towards the sea. It's near the Elbaf ship. Usopp and Chopper cry for Atlas. The Straw Hat Pirates, we can reach the sea. Usopp, damn it, Atlas, you can't just do that. York tells the five elders that Atlas' signal has disappeared. York, now the only Dr. Vegapunk in the world is me. Little does she know, Liv is still on that ship. It's chilling, bro. Liv's still alive. You ain't the last one. You ain't the last one. You're gonna be very shocked when you see her signal come back online. You're gonna be very mad. But Atlas, man, you the GOAT, Atlas. You definitely the GOAT. Let's move on to the next point, guys. Ooh, Nasujiro with half his face destroyed. No, not yet. That's Stella, who just can't stop yapping. He's the yap god Stella. Of course, we'll put an end to it immediately. Jupiter and War Curry charge at MF together to stop the broadcast. MF is in front of them with a lot of smoke coming out and a broken arm. So it looks like this is the end for the broadcast, which sucks because Vegapunk only has one more section left, and I don't think we're gonna get it. I think this is the end of the broadcast. I think MF is done for. He did his job. He's gonna hold him down. He's gonna allow the crew to escape. I don't think we're getting any more of the broadcast. Let's move on to this final point of the chapter. Oh, I'm rotten. So this is the right time and moment you talked about, Joy Boy. Then I'm going to use it now. What can he be using right now? And I have a theory. I think he's just gonna self-destruct. Everybody been self-destructing. So it's only right that MF goes out with a bang, right? You got Kuma, who has a self-destruct button built inside of him. Atlas just kamikazed herself. So like it's only right that we get some more explosions. I think he about to just hit the kaboom and make all the Gorosei like Nasujiro like half blown up so they can't physically chase the Straw Hats until they recover. At that point, there's no point. The broadcast is done. They're just gonna go back home. That's what I think. And also, this to me shows that he knows that this isn't the original Joy Boy from 800 years ago, like I was speculating a lot. He knows that this is Joy Boy reincarnated. So that's interesting. In the penultimate panel of the chapter, we see Vega. I need to figure out what that word, put that word in my vocabulary. I'm guessing it means the last one. I never heard of penultimate, so penultimate. Okay, you know what? We're gonna keep going. We see Vegapunk talking in the broadcast. Zaza, which means that they must have already unaltered the voice of the past. In other words, I believe you have noticed this too. And this is what I believe will happen in the future world. We cut to Impel Down in the well, it can't be the final panel because this is the final panel. So penultimate, does that mean second to last panel? Maybe. I'm gonna look it up right after I finish recording this. But we cut the Impel Down in the final panel of the chapter. The prisoners are surprised with the last part of the message. Huh? What? He said Gold D? They don't know that Roger had the will of D. But all in all, the ending right here, little lackluster. But overall, I think we got a very good chapter. I'm very excited to see when the full chapter drops tomorrow. If I get home in time, I will do a chapter review. I might not, because this is kind of, I'll probably do a chapter review for you guys. But I actually really did enjoy this chapter. One second, let me take this up. I really did enjoy this chapter. It was very good. Let me know your thoughts of it on this chapter down below. And if you could, leave a like, subscribe. I'm trying my hardest to be consistent. I also have a gaming channel, which I haven't started, but I want to live stream, man. I like playing video games. I'm enjoying making content. So if you enjoy my personality or anything, please just leave a comment for me, leave a like. Anything helps just to keep me motivated. And if I even see one person, two people leave a like that I don't know, it makes me be like, it's worth doing because I know there's people out here enjoying what I'm talking about. And if you want to have any One Piece conversations with me, leave some comments down there. I'll reply to everything. I love talking about One Piece. I love talking to people in general. So if you could, I would really appreciate you guys leaving a like, commenting, and subscribing. Yeah, have a good one.